The first dilemma is from Giovanni. Hi Jordan, I'm a 15-year-old and want to write and publish my first book. I thought I could reach out to you because you wrote and published more than one piece and maybe you could give me some tips and guidelines. I want to write a book about happiness, what it is, the misunderstanding of it, how to achieve it, and how to maintain a happy lifestyle. That is why I feel entirely self-realized and happy after embarking on my journey of self-development the previous year, and I want to share my vision of how to live a truly full life. Thank you very much for what you do. Truly yours, Giovanni. Alright Giovanni, first of all, you're absolutely amazing, bro. Being 15 years old and looking to publish your first book is insane. At the age of 15, I could have never possibly conceived of the notion that I would publish a book in my 20s, let alone at the age of 15. Now, if you want to publish a book, I would recommend publishing it through Amazon KDP. This is how I personally published my books. I self-published. You can either self-publish or you can go the traditional publisher route. The traditional publisher route is a little more complex in that you have to get certain approval from the publishing companies, and in that process, they can potentially change the content of your book. They can force you to change the contents in order to appeal to what they believe will be your target audience, or what they believe will be the mass market that will be most likely to consume your book. If you want to get that marketing push behind you, then yes, aim for the traditional publisher route, which, if I'm not mistaken, requires you to find an agent to connect you with a publishing house, and then that publishing house will tell you what edits you need to make, and once you make those edits, then they can publish the book for you, if they accept the concept, that is. And this whole process costs quite a bit of money, more money than I'm assuming you would have at the age of 15. So, like I said, I would suggest that you go with Amazon KDP, which is what I did, the self-publishing route. With Amazon KDP, all you need is the digital transcript, you need a cover, and a title. And that's pretty much it. Also, I would recommend that for the title, you go on the US government website and file a copyright claim for your book title. That's what I did for both Soul Shock and Ego Death, both of my books that are out right now. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you can really, hypothetically, put a whole book out in less than 72 hours. Less than 72 hours from the time that you finish that transcript, or what you believe to be the final transcript, because you can always go back and edit and then simply update the transcript on Amazon. That's another amazing thing, by the way. By the time you finish that final transcript, you can simply put it on Amazon and you're good. Right now, one thing that you need to be aware of is the formatting guidelines. Amazon has specific formatting guidelines, just like I'm assuming any other publishing company. So just look up on the Amazon KDP website the publishing guidelines, and they'll tell you which margins to use and how to format the entire book, basically, depending on how long it is, what genre it is. Just look at the website and they'll give you all of the detailed step-by-step instructions. But as far as the actual contents of the book, you already have the framework. I mean, you said that you want the book to be about what happiness is, the misunderstanding of it, how to achieve happiness, and how to maintain a happy lifestyle. So that framework right there is more than enough. Okay, there is more than enough nuance in those topics, or in happiness in and of itself, to create not just a book, but multiple books. This could be a whole book series for you. But the key is you need to start writing. And it sounds very, very obvious, I understand, but that's pretty much the biggest hang-up for writing a book, is looking at that blank document and putting words on that page. Once you get momentum going, the book will write itself. Once you unlock or tap into that stream of consciousness, you're going to find that you're not necessarily writing the book, but the book is being written through you. And if you've ever written a book, you know exactly what I'm talking about. With that being said, the next dilemma is from Oratul. I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly, but good day. My name is Oratul, and I'm from South Africa. Shout out to South Africa, man. I have a lot of people showing love from South Africa all the time. Definitely on my list of places to visit one of these days. I've been following you for a while on YouTube, and I'm gravitated to the content you always put up on your channel. Lately, I've been feeling as if my life is spiraling out of control. I'm struggling with overcoming this porn addiction, and I can't go a day without, beating the meat. I'm finding it hard to grow myself physically, mentally, and spiritually, and I'm also in bad shape. I saw your channel and I saw content that seemed as if you kind of understand what I'm going through. I wanted to ask you for help or points on how I can glow up and be the best version of myself and be strong, not only physically, but also mentally and spiritually. Yeah, I hope I can get your help. Take care. I've definitely been in a very similar position. My 20th birthday actually was my turning point in my life. That was when I realized that I was down horrendous, down atrocious. I had just gotten my heart broken. I was broke. I remember thinking to myself, how is it possible that I don't have any women or any money? That should be impossible. And yet somehow I achieved that. And my back was messed up, so I couldn't really go to the gym the way that I wanted to. I was down bad, okay? I was down bad in pretty much every conceivable aspect, financially, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And in that moment, I made a decision that I was going to change my life. And here's basically how I did it. Now, you said that you had this PMO addiction. I did as well at that time, although I didn't know that that was even something that you could be addicted to until I was introduced to NoFap, that is. Now, if you want to overcome a PMO addiction and you want to get your life on track, it's all about finding your underlying why. Why do you want to level up? This is the reason why a lot of people fall off the wagon, not just with NoFap, but with every self-development habit. This is why I myself fell off of the NoFap wagon, is because I didn't have a strong enough why. Now, I do. I have a very, very, very strong why, and that's why I'm talking to this camera right now. That's why I'm going to go to the gym later. Granted, I never really fell off with the gym, but you get the idea. Okay, you have to have a strong enough why that will incentivize you to do the things that you need to do even when you don't want to do them. This is what discipline is. Discipline stems from you having a strong why, or as my friend Bryce Wilson likes to call it, a strong drive. Okay, what is driving you on a day-to-day basis? It could be perhaps your family situation. Maybe your family isn't doing very well financially and you want to be able to chip in, but in order to do that, you have to level yourself up to become somebody who can provide more value to other people so that you can receive monetary abundance and help your family out. Or maybe you want to be a personal trainer and you know that you need to get in shape to fulfill that dream of being a personal trainer. Whatever it is, it has to be larger than you. It has to involve helping other people, but it also has to involve creative expression in some way. You have to find something that allows you to create and inspire. I personally believe, at least for myself, and I'm assuming for most people watching my channel, that those are the two foundational aspects of a strong purpose, is being able to create, being able to inspire. So figure out something that's bigger than you. I can't tell you what that'll be for you, but what I can tell you is that trying to get women, that's not a strong enough why. Okay, I know this from experience. Just trying to go out and get women is not really going to incentivize you enough to really stay on your P's and Q's, because what you'll realize is that you actually don't need self-development to get women. All you need to do is be yourself and be confident. And I'll probably touch more on that in future videos, but find a why that is bigger than you, but also involves your own creative expression, whatever that means to you. And when you find that why, that's going to take care of every aspect of self-development. Everything will look back to that why. Every time you want to pull the phone out and start beating your meat, whatever, you're going to think about that why. And in that moment, you're going to weigh the importance of instant gratification versus long-term gratification. And if that why is strong enough, you will always choose the long-term gratification. If you don't choose it, it's not a strong enough why. And as far as going to the gym, you'll have that why. You'll think about sitting there and eating junk food and playing video games all day, or going to the gym and eating healthy and leveling up your body and putting an extension on your life. Your why will make that choice for you. It's all up to you, but you have to decide what your why is. The next dilemma is from Chad. I'm a graduate of 2022. I wanted to major in mechanical engineering, but I'm still struggling to apply for colleges and universities, and I do not know where to start or what to do. Chad, I was definitely in your shoes at one point. Here's what I would recommend. Okay, if you want to be a mechanical engineer, I'm assuming that you're a very smart person, right? You have to be a pretty smart person to do anything with the word engineer in it. But at the same time, being book smart doesn't necessarily translate to being life smart. And that's what I realized. I graduated top 7% of my class, and the day that I graduated, I realized that I didn't know shit about life. Okay, there are a lot of life skills that I'm still developing. And the only reason why I've been able to develop the life skills that I have up to this point is because I've lived life, right? And so what you'll realize being in the real world, being in the adult world out of high school, is that people are no longer going to spoon feed you the information. As far as applying to colleges and universities and doing all of these things that you need to do, filing your taxes, all of that, at least in America, I can't speak for other countries, but in America, you're gonna have to find this information on your own. Now, you're doing well by asking the question. I'm not saying that you did wrong by asking the question, but my point is that you're going to have to be very, very proactive in your adult life. And it's going to be stressful, but you're going to get used to it. Because not doing it is even more stressful, because then you fall behind. Now, as far as applying to colleges and universities, you literally just figure out which colleges you want to apply to, and then you look up the application, and you do the whole application online. But what I would personally recommend doing, okay, this is just my 2 cents. If you're going to go to college, I'm not anti-college, but if you are going to go to college, first I would recommend taking a gap year just to really determine if that is what you want to do, right? Because at 18, I believe that you're not mentally equipped to know what you're going to do to the extent that you should be taking out tens of thousands of dollars in student loan debt to do so. But if you are going to go to college right away, go to community college. This is the secret sauce. Go to community college. Community college is the key. Community college is way cheaper than any university. Unless you're on a full ride at a university, community college is cheaper, and more often than not, they have a 100% acceptance rate. All you have to do is find a local community college with credits that will transfer to a university, which will be most community colleges. Find a community college, sign up. Sign up for the basic classes. You can go to the guidance counselors and ask them which classes you need to take. But generally speaking, once you declare your major or you figure out what you want to major in, that particular major will come with a track of classes that you need to take, all the way down to the basics. So generally speaking, that first math class that you take will probably be different if you're on the engineering track versus being on the business track. You're not going to be taking business calculus as a mechanical engineer. You're going to take some other type of math. So figure out, first of all, which community college you want to go to. Or if you really insist on going to a university, the process will be the same. It's just that you're going to be spending a shit ton more money. But figure out what college you want to go to, apply for these colleges, and then from there, you're going to reverse engineer it. No pun intended. You're going to reverse engineer your degree. You're going to figure out what you want to major in. You're going to look up the track for that major at that particular college, and you're going to go back and take all of the classes on that track. That's basically how college works. And mind you, I dropped out. Okay, I dropped out when I was 19 years old. And once I dropped out, I realized that I was very, very, very fortunate to have chosen to go to community college instead of pulling out loans to go to my dream school at the time, which was UT Austin. Because if I had went to UT Austin, there was no dropping out. Once I pulled out that first loan, there was no dropping out. I would still be paying that off to this day.